but we'd love to get your suggestions for an idea for the name of the show. As always, brought to you by 5 Star Escrow and Stuart Title. And the next guest, Ann Heizer, I met Ann because she reached out when we did some outreach for the TV show Senior Savers. My business partner, Jamie Shapiro, and I host a TV show called Senior Savers. We've done 1 episode. We're in production on our 2nd episode, which is going to be airing on Channel 4 starting in March. And it's a reality show that talks about what's available for seniors as they age. They have a lot of questions, issues, concerns. They don't know where to turn for a lot of things, and we provide a lot of information for them on what's available for them. And we did an outreach on Facebook, and Ann found us there and said, wait a second, I have some really cool stuff that I do for seniors. So we've been talking now, Ann, I think for 6 months, I think. And finally it hit me, you need to come on Real Talk Carlsbad, or whatever we're calling the show these days. So Ann, thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome. I'm so happy to be here.
Great. So you may notice on the widescreen, you can't see it, so Ann brought in a couple folding chairs. That's going to become relevant in a moment.
We aren't mean. We didn't make her sit.
Yeah, I know, right. It's padded, so it's fine. And some bars over here, which I'm a little nervous about because I think that I'm going to be involved in this in some way in just a little bit here. So Ann, change the way you age. That's sort of your motto. How did you get started in all this and your background?
I am one of the original aerobosauruses.
Aerobosaurus.
When aerobics just began. There were no shoes for it. You know, we were running around in little elastic bands over our feet and so on. And that's how far back into the industry I go.
Wow.
Started.
And you're originally not from the United States, I'm guessing, from your accent.
No,
you're originally from?
South Africa.
South Africa. How long have you been in the United States?
About 25 years now.
Okay, so quite a long time. So for 32 years, you've been doing group fitness and personal training. And what got you into the thought of aging and changing the way you age?
It happened to me.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so at the end of April, I'll be 58 years old. And
that's amazing.
I'm feeling and performing better than I've ever done in my life. I really believe that when you want to motivate people how to move, because we obviously have to do that in order to change the way we age, you have got to find something that you do for fun. So it's really important to want to do it. That's what my motto is.
Right, so keeping it fun, keeping it different. On your website, you have Grounded XT cross-training for the nooks and crannies.
Yep, and this is why the chairs.
Got it. So why nooks and crannies? I'm used to thinking of English muffins when we talk about that.
The nooks and crannies are the little corners in your body that you tend to forget about, that you don't get breath to, and that little movements affect, where you can be sitting down. My guarantee pretty much is sit on the chair with me for 5 minutes and I will make your back and hips feel better. You will be able to retain what I taught you and go home and teach it to somebody else.
Wow, that's pretty powerful. And this goes along with what Jackson was talking about too. So we have 3 moves that we want to kind of talk about today.
Yeah, so we're going to pack it in.
I'm going to name them, and then you can start wherever you want to start. We have the Heizer maneuver.
Yep.
Not Heimlich, but Heizer maneuver. Grounded, and lever age.
Yep.
Like leverage, but with age there.
Yeah.
So you
so
go.
If you'd like to join me on this chair, I will give you a quick demonstration.
I wouldn't like to, but I will. So let's try this.
I'll give you an example of the grounded process. So you're going to put your heels right underneath your knees, and you're looking at perpendicularity.
Okay.
This is a word that I've developed.
Good.
You're going to sit all the way back in your chair and make sure that you feel your shoulder blades against the backrest.
Okay.
And then spread your toes in your shoe.
Okay.
So that it feels like they're wiggling.
Okay.
And then push down into 3 inches of melted chocolate.
Where's the chocolate?
It's on the floor. And
oh, it's not real?
Yeah,
I thought it was, when you were talking about this earlier, I thought you were literally talking about real chocolate. I was really happy about this.
Feel it ooze through your toes.
Okay.
And close over your ankle.
Okay.
Now feel the back of the chair on your back of your legs.
Okay.
And kind of like push down on it so you feel heavier. Can you feel how you're activating some musculature right there?
Yeah.
All right, so we're pulling up a zip from the pubic bone to the chin.
Okay.
And we're putting on a corset that wraps around the body, comes right up to underneath by your breastbone and your bottom of your pelvis, and then you're going to pull your elbows down towards the floor.
Stop laughing, Claire.
Why are you thinking so hard?
I'm listening. You do this.
No, it's way more fun for
Pull
me.
your elbows down, elbows
Elbows
actively
down.
Yeah, can you feel that? Abs engaged.
Mm-hmm.
And then put a crown on your head. That's the assumed position.
Okay.
We are now going to push into the floor.
Do you have written directions for
Yes.
this? Okay.
Push into the floor, release, push, release, push, release. So you're not lifting any part of your foot.
Okay.
It's stuck in the chocolate. You're just pushing on the floor and you're releasing.
Okay.
Can you feel that?
Yep.
Okay. So do that for a little while in a chair. If you're stuck, pretty much if you're stuck in a conference or an airplane seat going from Joburg to like New York for 17 hours,
Right.
this is pretty much what you
And they talk about that too. When you're
Keep going.
when you're seated too long, like in an airplane, that could actually cause medical problems.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the reason why sitting is the new smoking is not because of any other reason that really you need to get up, but you're not breathing when you're sitting. You're not taking full breaths and kind of hunched over probably doing this kind of thing. So your brain's kind of really suffering.
Right.
Next one. Right?
Go.
Look down at your knees and slide one knee longer than the other. No, without your feet
Okay.
moving. Yep. And without your butt sliding forward.
How
and
am I
then
supposed to
switch.
do that?
So you're sitting up nice and tall and you're just sliding the knees parallel, reaching one forward and pulling one back. See that? Parallel.
That's
See,
hard.
This takes a little, yeah, it's hard. People look at this program in the chair and they go, I don't want to be old. I don't want to do this. But really, it really wakes up your body from the inside.
Jackson, you got to incorporate this stuff,
yeah.
man.
Okay, so
I'm no longer here.
if you relax for a moment, can you go into your hips inside and feel that someone's
Yeah.
kind of like warmed them up?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one little chair setup, and then we're going to go to the next thing.
All right.
'cause-
How much time do we have, Claire? Oh, we're almost out of time, right?
Really?
Half an hour.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. All right, so if you breathe into your belly button, and then you use it as a slingshot to take you off your backrest, this is what it looks like. Okay?
Okay.
So now you have no backrest, which means you're using your abdominals, or you go doing this.
Right.
So let's do that. So you're going to breathe into your belly button, not the chest. Yeah, you did it. Okay, there it is.
Okay.
Now, we're here. You're going to
Yeah.
press into your feet,
Okay.
and you can do that whole thing again without leaning on the backrest.
Got it.
And there's just a little difference right here in this angle.
And this one's
being here.
called.
This is called grounded cross-training nooks and crannies, because guess what? We got into those nooks and crannies in the
Right.
hip. What is the most common operation right now? Knee replacement, hip replacement,
Joints.
hip replacement
Right.
stuff. Okay, so pre-op, post-op, all this kind of stuff. Sitting in your chair, dressed in anything, anywhere.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so the Heizer maneuver.
Okay.
I don't know how many people you know that have fallen on the floor and they can't get up. Okay. As a group fitness instructor and a Robosaurus, I saw people getting up off the floor for so long that I thought I gotta make it easier for people and give them like a little something to put in their muscle memory so that they can do it easily while they're young, and then when they get older, it's already in there and they can do it, right? So I'm going to demonstrate that using my arms to get up, which is another thing you can't get me started about. So when you are standing straight up in the floor, grounded, like we did, that's leverage grounding from standing, so we can do that whole thing again, pushing into the feet, zipping up, everything. The best way to get closer to the floor is just to open up and have a wide base of support. Guess what? I'm closer to the floor now. So the leverage method, we can kind of cover these both at the same time, would be to get a lever, which is my straight arms, onto a little shelf, which are my bent thighs, right? So I'm kind of getting closer to the floor. But if I drop another lever down, look how close I am now. I look really close. But I'm here in case I want to come back up again. So this is part of the drill that I would drill people up. So we try both sides always. And then look, you're over here, no brain surgery, no rocket science. We're just coming down lever by lever by lever. And I'm on the floor, on my back. Now, many people do not understand that if you try to turn like this, your arm acts as a brake. And you can't turn. So you want to be able to remember, if you're on the floor, the direction. I wouldn't do it to my right because you're in my way, Brian.
I'm sorry. I can move if you like.
But you would stretch the arm and leg that you're going to roll that direction. Push on the leg that's on the floor in the chocolate, and guess what? You land on your tummy. Now, not a lot of people can do this. Okay? So from here, you would get your elbows underneath your shoulders, lever. This is your first lever. Then you would get your knees under your hips. You would extend this one and bring it under you. Okay, so now we're on our hands and knees. How many times do you see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's what I saw all the time. So I said,
And if
okay.
you're if an older person, they're not going to be able to do that.
All right. So we're going to start again. People's feet are not really curly, like bendy. I highly recommend you bend your toes. You're going to bend the toes and activate the strongest leg. Get out of your way and bring your other leg right next to your knee as close as possible. Not too far. And then come back. Now we're going to use both arms. We're going to moon up, which means the butt's going to go back and push up to the top. So we're standing up a little backward to do it elegantly and efficiently with agility.
Okay, Brian, now you try.
No, I'm good.
No, I think you should try.
Yeah, I do. Okay, I'll walk you through it, Brian.
Who asked you?
I'll walk you through it. So wide base of support. Okay, so wide base of support.
Okay.
Okay, leverage number one. Feel that. It's kind of a nice stretch. Can you feel if you really lock your elbows and you lean? Yeah, there it is, right? Okay, the next one. It's got a nice there too. Nice stretch.
All right.
And then you're going to walk
Like a
your
football
hands
player.
down. Yep. Sit. You can go that way. Elbow and down. Okay.
Got it.
So now you're on your back, lie flat on your back. Actually arrive there. And then you can come towards me. So you would bend your left leg, keep your right arm and leg straight, and just push on your left. Yep, and you're on your tummy.
Okay.
Elbows underneath the shoulders, a little bit more. Close them a little. Yep, feel that?
Mm-hmm.
If you keep pushing the floor away,
Yeah.
you'll start doing a plank.
Yeah.
Feel that?
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But push the floor away from here first. Yeah, then lift your belly button. Better, right?
Yeah.
All right, so bring your knees in underneath your hips. Yep, stretch your arms out. No, straighten your elbows, sorry, I meant. And then walk them back. So now you're here. So activate your toes, both or one, whichever one you pick.
Okay.
So curl them. I know you got shoes on, but try to curl your toes. You see, I got Vivo
got it,
barefoots
like
on.
that. Okay.
Love these shoes. They sponsored me. And then get out of your way. Bring your leg sideways. Okay. Now, put your hand over here. Drive your
This
hip.
is probably pretty important
Yep,
so that people
yep,
don't remember.
yep. And drive your hips back and push on your left arm. He did it. Good
Ta-da.
job, Brian.
See, Claire? I did it.
Fantastic. Yeah.
You did
Claire, were you paying
Right.
attention?
We screwed up your microphone while we were at it, though, so can you pull it out of your pocket? You were too aerobic for
But you
us.
did it, Brian. Really well. Thank you.
Is it fixing or anything? It's all plugged.
Glitches.
I
Love
do
them.
Sound okay?
All
Are you
right.
back?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm going to
Then
sit back
stop
here now.
eating.
Oh, you can sit on that chair.
So, all right. So, we have time. You brought in those bars. You don't have to do a demonstration, but what do you...
I'll be happy to.
Okay, go for it.
So part of my personal fitness journey has been hanging out with a bunch of people who do acro yoga. And if you don't know what that is, if you lie down and put your feet up and someone balances on your feet, that's pretty much, and does a whole bunch of crazy stuff. That's what that is. Hand-to-hand balancing, arm balancing, and so on. That's what I do for fun on the weekends. And I really have been able to push myself, push my limits, and do things that I would have never imagined. So part of what I love hearing from clients is, I never thought I'd ever be able to do that. And I hear it all the time, because really if you break it down to the leverage part, and this is pretty much part of what I do. So it's called a side stab, and you're putting your elbow into your pelvis bone. It has to be there, because if you put it in your stomach, you have no chance. And you have to pick one. So let's see, I'll pick the right side.
I can step up.
No, you're fine. I won't kick you. I won't kick you, Brian, I promise.
I'll stand over here.
And what we're doing here is we are putting the elbow onto the hip. So in order to do that, you've got to contract slightly and get on top of it. Leeward bars here, Mark, I'm giving you a shout out. So you put it on and you weight it. That's me weighting it. I'm just hanging out here. If I wanted to lift up any, I would bend the knees, lift them up by squeezing the butt. I'm still perpendicular over my arm. And then you could stretch them out. I'm lifting up my chest and squeezing the cheeks really hard.
And you're how old again?
I will be 58 in April.
Wow, that's amazing.
Really, really fun. Thank you. But
Claire,
it's
you're doing
just
that next.
about having fun. And I've been doing it for a long time, but I just, it's part of what makes me stronger and stronger and stronger, you see.
Right.
You just push it, and then I let one hand go, and the next thing comes, and the next thing comes.
So, Ann, how can people learn more about what you do, get a hold of you, etc.?
I would love to let you know that. My website is annheizer.com. That's Ann with no E, Heiz for zebra, ER.com. And I actually am working out of Crossroads Health Solutions in Oceanside right now. We have a wonderful class going on twice a week. I teach on Mondays and Saturdays at noon. And that's where they can contact me. I'll have my link on your website.
Perfect.
Sure.
Ann, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank
I'm
you,
grateful
Brian.
that I met you 6 months ago and look forward to having you do more work with seniors as well.
I would love
Which
to.
would be awesome. So thank you very much again to my guest. Thank you, Real Talk San Diego audience, for joining our new wonderful something. Not sure yet. It'll be a great show, I promise. Thank you. And Real Talk Carlsbad will be along with it as well. Thank you to my executive producer, Claire. Thank you to the all wonderful, does everything, Carrie, which is great. Thank you. All wonderful everything.
Yay.
That's going to be, your credits will be saying that. And then, of course, thank you to 5-Star Escrow and Stuart Title. This is Brian DeVore with the DeVore Realty Group, 760-908-3838. And we look forward to seeing you on the next, I always sign off this way, but I can't, the next edition of something. The Brian DeVore Show or something like that. Thank you.